In the previous lecture, we added the code coverage job to the workflow, and we noticed that whenever the coverage percentage doesn't reach the threshold specified in the vtest.config.ts, the code coverage step will exit with the exit code 1, the next steps will be skipped, and the entire workflow will be marked as failed. And here, because the code coverage step fails, the next steps are skipped, so it doesn't upload the code coverage report. And if we go here to the summary of the workflow, if we scroll down, so we have here only the artifact coming from the unit test job. Okay, we want to change the behavior of the code coverage job. So if the code coverage step fails, the job ignores the failure of this step and proceeds to the execution of the upcoming step to upload the coverage report. And we can do that using the continue on error keyword at the step level, okay, in the code coverage step. So if we go here to the syntax of GitHub Actions workflows, we will search here for the continue on error keyword. So here we find that we can use the continue on error keyword at the step level. So we can use it at the step level to prevent the job from failing when a step fails. Okay, here we want to prevent the code coverage job from failing even if the code coverage step fail, so the job can move to the execution of the upcoming step. Okay, so here the continue on error keyword is used at the step level, but it can also be used at the job level. So when we use the continue on error keyword at the job level, here we want to prevent the workflow from failing when a job fails. So when we set the continue on error keyword to true at the job level, if the job fails, the workflow will ignore the failure of the job and will proceed to the execution of the next jobs. Okay, but in our case here, we want to use the continue on error keyword at the step level to prevent the code coverage job from failing even if the code coverage step fail, so it can move to the execution of the upcoming step to upload the code coverage report. Because with the configuration of the code coverage job that we have now, whenever the code coverage step fails, the job will fail and the remaining step will be skipped. So let's go back now to the workflow and add the continue on error keyword to the code coverage step in the code coverage job. So here in the second job, the code coverage job, here we want to proceed to the upcoming step even if the code coverage step fails. Okay, so here we will set the continue on error keyword. We will set it to true. So now even if the code coverage step fails, the failure of this step should be ignored and the job should proceed to the execution of the upcoming steps. Okay, so let's commit the changes and see if the code coverage job will behave as expected or not. For the commit message, it can be, for example, add continue on error to the code coverage job. So the changes was successfully pushed. Let's check the workflow. So now a new workflow was triggered. Let's see the execution of the workflow. So notice now that the code coverage job was completed successfully. Even we have an error here in the code coverage job. And here in the bottom, we notice now that we have two artifacts, one coming from the unit test job and the second one is coming from the code coverage job. Let's see now the execution of the code coverage job. So notice now that all the steps are completed successfully without any error. But here in the code coverage job, we have an error, but the error is ignored because we set the continue on error keyword to true. So if we expand the execution of the code coverage step, so here we notice that the step exits with the exit code 1 because the coverage percentage is less than the threshold specified in the vtest.config.ts, but the error was ignored because here in the code coverage step, we set the continue on error keyword to true. So we want the job to ignore the failure of this step and proceeds to the execution of the upcoming steps. Okay, that's why here the error was ignored. So it moves to the next step for uploading the artifact, and the artifact was uploaded successfully. And if you go back here to the summary of the workflow, so we see here that we have two artifacts, one coming from the unit test job, and the second one is coming from the code coverage job. So that's all for now. Thank you very much, and we will continue in the upcoming lectures.